Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. I'm delighted as always to be joined by Paul Kelly. This is a final prediction video taking place ahead of the big fight tonight, taking place in New York for the WBC World Super Featherweight title. It's the big rematch after the controversial first fight back in July. The champion Robson Conceicao faces O'Shaquie Foster for the second time. Paul, good to be joined by you as always. It's an interesting one here because the vast majority of people thought O'Shaquie Foster won the first fight. O'Shaquie Foster is a strong favourite to win the second fight. So we'll see, but it's an intriguing one. It's an interesting. It's an interesting weight division, isn't it? You've got this the Navarrete Oscar Valda rematch coming up as well. It's obviously Anto Kakachi is a world champion at this weight, so it's an intriguing weight division. What's your final prediction for this one?
Yeah, thanks for having me on again, mate, as always. Yeah, it is an interesting one, I think. That first fight, yeah, I also had O'Shaquie Foster winning. Elliot Greg and I have discussed this fight as well in our preview, and it's one of them where I understand why O'Shaquie Foster's the favourite. Granted that most people thought he won the fight, but then there's something about Robson Conceicao. Yes, I know a lot of people um, might not have fancied him in that first fight and didn't have him winning, but there's something about him. Like sometimes, you look at fighters' losses and you think like you have to be good to beat this guy. Like you have to be good to beat Robson Conceição, right? Well, he's lost twice to I believe it's Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson. Like that's top level fighters, and he drew with Navarrete. Like he's a hard man to beat. Yes, whether or not Shaki Foster did first time around, but that's why we've got the rematch. I'm call me mad, but I'm doubling down. I said it in the preview. I'm going for the underdog here, the champion. Conceição, I think he will win this fight. I think that it depends on. I think we know what we're going to get from Robson Conceição. Depends on what O'Shaquie Foster turns up. You and I have talked before about that you were saying about the time when he pulled the knockout out of the bag in the very last round. O'Shaquie Foster very recently when he was down on the cards looked lackluster in a fight before that as well. Looked pretty good against Conceição last time. But I think sometimes he can his performances maybe don't match what we kind of have in our expectations with him. I think, yeah, I think Robson Conceição is a very, very tricky customer. I'm going for Conceição to retain his title and beat O'Shaquie Foster. I think I will go to points again. I could see this going the distance.
Yeah, and I think that this is actually not an easy fight to predict. And it's one of those with where like what happened in the first fight happened, but it's it's a different fight now. You can't kind of live off that, whether you're in the fight yourself, whether you're predicting it. I think O'Shaquie Foster, I do have some kind of worries about him because he's come close to losing fights in the last year or so. He has actually lost a fight in his last fight. Maybe shouldn't have lost it. I wonder what he's got left at the weight as well. I would have liked to have seen him move up to lightweight, if I'm honest. So there's a few factors here. This isn't a betting tip show, but Constantine to win by decision is 5-1, which I do think is really good value. Actually, I don't think Constantine's going to win by knockout. I'll be honest. However, Foster, look, you'd think he would be very determined to kind of prove any doubters wrong after what happened last time. He was being spoken about as as the best super featherweight in the world. I think he kind of wants to prove that. So yeah, look, I think this is a tough one, but I'm not going to bottle it and not give a prediction. I'm going to go for Foster to win this fight on points, but I don't say it with a huge amount of confidence. As I said, from a value perspective, Conceicao to win on points is fantastic. And we'll see if that's kind of a genuine possibility. We'll leave it there, Paul. I know it's another busy fight week. We had the kind of the show in Belfast last night, which I know you were at. There's a fight night in Birmingham tonight, fight night in New York. So it's a busy one. So we'll leave it there, but plenty more boxing to come. If you've enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and watch the rest of our content. Paul, good to be joined by you, and I'll speak to you again very soon.